Hello everybody, I'm Steve and welcome to Green Side Up. The home edition again today. I'm in the greenhouse today. I've got some potting on to do, quite a bit actually. And yeah, I'm going to get these, I've got some brassicas to pot on in this one. And then after that I've got all my lettuces to do as well. So we'll crack on with that. We'll have a quick little look around so you can see what's going on in here. And then we'll crack on with this. Right, on the propagating bench here. These two at the very front here are Ami, and these are flowers. The celeriac is now finally showing, and I've got some peas here. This is just for pea shoots and they'll go along with the lettuces. Peppers are finally starting to pick up and do something, and of course that's the water, which keeps the water at the same temperature as the plants I'm watering. Aubergines are terrible this year, and they normally fly for me, and this year they haven't. I'm going to persevere with them and see where I get, but I have relented and I've ordered some grafted ones. I'm going to try those. I've never tried grafted plants apart from the ones I've grafted myself, which is something I'm going to try again next year. But anyway, that's another story. And up the top there we've got some scabious coming through. They're flowers. I don't think there's anything in that one. And in that one at the back I've got spring onions. They should be coming through any minute now. I'll just watch them for a minute. No, they're not coming. Anyway, right. These are my crimson crush tomato plants. These are very nearly ready to pot on into a bigger pot. As soon as you see the roots coming out the bottom, which you can see there, they're not. They want to be moved on. Keep tomatoes moving at all times. Just pot them up into something just slightly bigger and they'll get away lovely. These are my lettuces over here. I'm going to be potting these on very, very shortly. And you can see the space there on the left. Now, you may remember when I sowed this tray of lettuce a few weeks back. There was 2 rows there, 2 little furrows of red Grenoble lettuce. And I piled the seed in there. And not a one has come up. Not one. And the little seedlings on the end. I did make a mistake. I sowed Ami, which is the flowers we looked at very first at the other end. And I didn't label them, so they were just on the bench when I came back into the greenhouse another day. And I thought, oh, they're just empty. So I emptied the compost into my tray. And I've now got Ami seedlings coming up. And all different things that I'm potting on and trying to grow. But not to worry. And these are the brassicas. These are what I'll be potting on any minute. And what have we got down here? Some more herbs, some chervil and coriander. Coriander's just starting to come through there. Over on the actual greenhouse bench over here, 2 sets of sweet peas, and I featured them just a couple of days ago in a video. And here we have some beetroot, multi-sown, and some zebrun shallots over at the back there, and parsley and dill, so some more herbs, and an empty tray. That's lovely, look at that, isn't that fabulous? But that's for the lettuces. And this thing is ready to go for brassicas. Okay, I've got a lovely tray of Brassica seedlings there, hundreds of them, absolutely hundreds. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different varieties in there, and I used the furrow method to sow them. And I'm going to transplant what I want to grow this year from there into these pots to keep them moving on. Once the seedlings are up, it's no benefit to keep them in a tray. All that's going to happen is the roots are going to get all tangled up and they'll start to perform poorly and not grow as well. So always best with plants, keep them moving on as best you can. And this first one, that's one of our favourite plants really, rainbow chard. Mind you, I'd probably say that about a lot of plants, don't I? One of my favourite plants, this one. So's this one. I say this is a rainbow chard, so it'll be all different colours. So I noticed this morning when I was checking the weather, and it's the first day I've seen this, that for the next 2 weeks, temperatures, they're on the rise. Whereas the last 2 weeks we were having temperatures down to 3 degrees and as a minimum temperature, and up as far as 7 or 8 for high temperatures. We're now looking at well, there's only one 5-degree temperature, low temperature, and that's tonight. Then after that, all the temperatures, they're all up above 5, sort of 6, 7 minimum temperatures, and maximum temperatures all the way up to about 10 degrees. So the thing is with that is there's a trend and it's warming up, which is good. Probably in another couple of weeks that will rise again, and then it'll be time for me to be able to sow direct into the soil, and certainly in the polytunnel, get some more plants going. So that's literally all I need for the chard. The rest of them, was it the rainbow chard? Yeah. The rest of them I will leave in the tray. Now this is for two or three reasons really. If any of these that I've just potted on here fail, I've got spares. If any of my friends at the allotments want some, I've got spares. And once these are growing away strongly, I will start potting these up, and we have a hospice table down at our allotments. So things like old pots and containers, old plants people don't want, go on there. And people walking past out walking the dog, so there's a little honesty box there. People take what they want, put a couple of quid in the honesty box, and it supports one of our local hospices. So as I say, once I've got the plants that I want and they're growing away nicely, the rest will get potted up and they'll go on the hospice table and they'll make a few quid. And it's all for the sake of me sowing a few extra seeds, when the seeds that I'm buying anyway are like 99p a packet. So it's no great cost to me, but it's a great contribution to the hospice. And there'll be old pots that I'll recycle from the hospice table, and I'll put these plants in and I'll put them in the soil. So what that means is that they're hardened off and conditioned for our local soil, for local people to buy and just pot straight on, put them out in the garden, and they can have a free feed for a case of a couple of quid, and the hospice benefiting from it. It's also worth noting here that because the compost is sieved, it is so much easier to separate these seedlings, because all you're putting them into compost, all you want is the root and the plant itself, and just a little shake and they come apart nice and easily. And that's the benefit of sieving the compost, as I've repeatedly said through all of my sowing videos this year. If you sieve your compost, you're making your life so much easier. And there we go, there's a row of black Tuscan kale done very quickly there. But if I hadn't sieved the compost, there would be all kinds of bits and all kinds of bits like this. This is the sievings from when I sieved this morning. So if the roots get tied up in this, it becomes difficult to separate them, and it just makes your life more difficult. When to sieve the compost that's in this bowl now and in this tray, it took me no more than about 4 or 5 minutes. So it's just worth doing. And to say, all this rubbish will end up in the bottom of my dahlia pots when I come to plant them in a little while. Okay, so they'll go down the allotment tomorrow along with this tray, which is the spares, just in case. You never know. Okay, so I've potted on all my lettuce there. That's 4 different varieties, and I've got Arctic King, Freckles, Intred and Alicia Rossa. And there's, I think, roughly 20 of each. So they'll be for spares, and if some die, because I'm incredibly heavy-handed, and especially with salad leaves, you know, lettuce, I'm terrible with them. But we'll see, we'll get what we get, and we'll plant out what we have. So yeah, I'm fairly pleased to get them done. So all this lot will be going down the allotments tomorrow, which will leave the propagator with space, so I can sow more seeds. But also, what I've got to bear in mind, in about a week's time, these Crimson Crush are doing very well. They will want potting on, and they're going to stay in this heated propagator. until the overnight temperatures, as I banged on about for so long, once overnight temperatures are 10 degrees or more, they'll go down the allotments. Or if I can provide 10 degrees overnight or as a lower temperature down the allotments, they'll go down there and stay down there. And I've got more tomatoes that I sowed last week. They're just popping their heads through now. They're in the kitchen on the windowsill propagator. They'll be coming out here soon and be getting potted on into trays similar to these. And I'm going to sow some more tomatoes over the weekend, just coming up now. So I'm just sort of hedging my bets, and I like to sow, especially with things, critical things like tomatoes. I like to sow them in batches. So that's where we're up to. Right, I made a little bit of a point last week about only 20% of the people who are subscribed to the channel get notifications. They're right next to the subscribe button. There's a little bell. If you click that and select all, you'll receive all notifications. Now, the channel doesn't benefit in any way by you doing that. It just means that as soon as I post a video, you'll get an email notification letting you know I've posted something. And that's important because coming up, I think I'm at 7,250 subscribers at the minute. As soon as I get to 7,500, I'll be doing a draw for 50 quid and it's free. All you'll have to do when I announce it on a video is just reply to it, and then I'll pick somebody at random from that using a comment picker, and that person will win 50 quid. Lee Wazza won the last one, and he's done what he wants with it, and he spent that and bought himself a few things. But if you want to be in with a chance of winning that, then do subscribe and hit the notification bell, because the competition will be limited. It will either be 12 or 24 hours that I'll run it for, and then I will pick a winner. So best you get that done. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to take all these plants down to the allotment tomorrow, or if I can sneak away later this afternoon, I might drop them down there this afternoon. We'll see. But that's it from me today. Look after yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you very soon. Ta-ra now.